Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We are here with our second episode of City of Fog, which is our open viewer ensemble cast kind of Urban Shadows game. The link, if you are interested in playing, I just put in the chat. So if you watch this episode and think it looks pretty cool and you want to sign up, you can just click the link and feel free to do that. There are plenty of openings still. I think next week there's still some openings, and then the weeks after that it's still pretty open. But for today, we have some awesome people. We have one returning guest and then two new guys. Let's meet our returning guest first. Mumbles, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's the weekend, and I'm excited to get back into the City of Fog and mess some shit up.
Yeah, awesome.
Deal with what's going on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mumbles was in our first episode. So his character is already established. They've already got some stuff going on. They've already got debts over people. You had in the few scenes you were in, you had a few interesting stuff happen. So it'll be cool to see where that stuff goes.
Yeah, I created some problems for myself, and then and got some benefits as well. So I pushed a few things and pushed a few buttons, and we'll see where they go.
Right.
Really, you played a role-playing game and backed yourself into a corner accidentally? Who would have thought?
Dude, I didn't even do it accidentally. Somebody just showed up and was like, "Hey, you want to screw over your friend? You have to." And I was like, "Fuck."
Here's this tasty debt.
You want to screw over your friend? Everything will be
Guess what?
fine.
You owe me.
But then someone else showed up and they were like, "Hey, we need a favor. Please do this thing for us." And I was like, "All right, well, you're gonna owe me."
Mm-hmm.
And so it was okay. So
That's
I kind of
basically,
ended up balancing it out. I hurt somebody, but I gained some power somewhere else. So we'll see.
Yep, that's basically how it's gonna work. Urban Shadows, either most conversations are gonna amount to either you owe me or I owe you.
Yeah, I think it's built that way, right? The
Yeah,
faction system. You can't just raise all your factions. If you raise a faction, you have to lower another one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like nothing's ever going to be great for you.
Yep, your relationships are
It's not.
very fluid.
There's not really a winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back.
Cool.
It's always character Call of Cthulhu. It's like you don't win. It's just who loses the least.
Exactly. All right, and
Wait,
now
that's a good learning experience.
moving over to the
Who
left,
loses the least?
we have our friend Riga. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Happy 3 a.m. Easter, everybody. I've been excited for this game ever since Tuck started announcing it on around. So really glad to jump in and see how it goes. Should be fun.
Yeah, awesome. And then right below him we have Ikimag. How are you doing today?
I am doing swell. I just woke up and I am ready to do this.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, so I need to give a sheet to Ikimag. And then... Boop. All right, now you have a sheet.
Why did the sheet come with a random name on it? That's so weird.
It's
Roll
just
20
how
just
it does it.
Yeah, Roll 20 just puts really weird random names on things.
That's just. I didn't think I had a sheet because I'm like, this is someone else's sheet. Like, right?
Yeah. If you see a sheet in there, it's yours.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you should also see in the sheets section, there's basic moves and basic moves 2. Those are just for kind of your own reference so when we start actually playing and doing the moves, you can refer to those for the different choices you have for various things. Also, just as a general question, have either of you played a Apocalypse World based game before?
No.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, I've played stuff like Dungeon World and that, and I've listened to a few games with a sort of bond system type thing, but
yeah, sure.
Not played one.
Okay. Yeah. So Riga, you have a little bit of experience with it. But yeah, basically, and then for anyone that might be watching that hasn't had experience with this type of game before, basically, Apocalypse World games are very much they're driven by the narrative and the fiction of what's currently happening with the with the characters and whatever's happening on screen. So rather than in D&D, you're just you're walking down the road and you just say, "I roll perception," and you roll and see what happens. You say my character like stops, like he thinks he hears something, and so he looks around and like spends like a minute or two kind of just like gazing around him and trying to take in everything in, and then we say, okay, it sounds like you're let's see what the actual move's called again, just to do that. Yeah, it sounds like you're investigating something or whatever, and then from there we move on to see what happens with the roll, and it's very much spent like. Yeah, I have the move sheet open right now on the screen, so you can see. Actually, I'll move over to roll 20. Yeah, so you can see all these moves, like figure somebody out. If you're checking somebody out and seeing what's going on with them, you spend your hold and ask these questions, and it's very much like a give and take about a conversation between me and the players. And I just now realized, let's see, turn that off. Boop. You were on there twice, Mike. There we go. All right, so from there, we move on to our characters. Now, Mumbles already has his character, Bailey Rook, the wizard cop, who
Wizard cop.
Yeah, wizard cop who's trying to earn her way back up the totem pole. And then
Is that a movie? That better be a movie somewhere.
It probably is.
Usually, if you're doing things right when you're playing an RPG, it sounds like, why isn't this? This should be a movie. This sounds like it'd be great.
Yeah.
And then
if your RPG turns into something where you say it should be a movie, it was a good time.
Yeah. All right. So we had talked a little bit before in the Skype call about some character ideas and where we might want to take things. So Riga, how about you kind of give your concept?
My concept was to play a spectre as a ghost of an old gangster who used to run the town, used to be big head honcho man, and has returned, and maybe he's been hanging around and seeing things decline, and is fed up with the way that crime is run, and the way the city runs, and the way criminals are these days, and wants to change things back and get things back on track and fix the city so it runs how it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm. So that very old style kind of criminal where it's like there's like respect among thieves, and like it's very much about like,
yeah,
it's not just go shoot people. It's like, hey, like dealing with things.
It's
like,
very much it's very much like The Godfather and stuff like that, where it's, he rubs shoulders with high society. Everyone knows you're the bad guy, but no one will say it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You have connections, you have people, you have protection. Other people do things for you. That kind of stuff.
Very cool. All right. And then Ikumeg, how about you to kind of talk about your concept?
The concept I was going with is it's actually like an old school shaman family from back in Africa. Like they have had this lineage of shamans that have been going down, and then at one point, essentially, someone stole from someone they weren't to, some sort of being or entity, and the family became cursed. And now this family kind of has this, the best, the brightest, the oldest of the family always inherits the curse.
Mm-hmm.
And so essentially what they do is they're always forced to essentially steal, and usually it's in a magical means. Like they're always essentially becoming a stronger family, but they're not really wanting to. It's this other entity essentially is forcing them to essentially like steal magic from other people. So their influence has grown, but they have like this deep dark secret the whole time.
Cool.
I just had a puppy delivered. Hi, buddy.
It's a pretty good delivery service.
It is.
Cool. And
he looks as tired as me.
If you look at you guys have the like the playbooks and such, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So on the second page of the playbook, there's just a very like walkthrough of just character creation, and so it's pretty simple to make a character in this game. So you can just follow through that. I will pull up one of the sheets to kind of just walk through that as well.
I'm taking a very vampire name for not being a vampire, but whatever.
You're like old, so like it sounds older.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
name is. You're from a different time. So
cool.
Vampires sound like they're from a different time. It works.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So it looks like.
Well, I also didn't want to like assign like a definite type to them. Like I wasn't going to make him Italian or anything. He's just a guy. But like, doesn't
Yeah.
mean
If all of a sudden your name is like Tony, you're like, well, what do I?
Tony Fabrizio.
Yeah, and
He's
then
like,
you're just
he's
like
German.
You're pigeonholing.
He's
yourself.
German, all right?
Yeah,
Tony
yeah.
Fabrizio's German.
Ich bin
Fabrizio of
Einwohner.
the German Fabrizios.
Haven't you? They're
Oh,
very,
yes, the German
very
Fabrizio.
common German name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like you guys have kind of gotten the gist of the sheet at least, where you pick your playbook, and then after you pick that, it opens up a lot of stuff on the sheet for you to fill out, and things that are not choices, they're just given to you for the class, are automatically put there. Namely the drama moves and the corruption moves, and then any other little
I
stuff.
can't see my auto spectre move.
What was
My
that?
auto spectre move on here. I don't think it came on there. That's all right. I'll just remember that I have that. Yeah, no, I get like an auto move that I have.
Oh
but I don't
yeah,
think it
yeah.
get
For
put
the
on sheet.
actual
so
class
they-
moves, you can put that under the
Yeah.
class move section. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a class move,
Yeah,
so you
that's
can
cool.
fill them in.
Yep. Yeah, because for those you can have different ones, and so it was just those.
Yeah.
I figured those ones you should it'd be adding yourself. And then
I
they're based
really
off
need
different
that one
stats,
because
so-
otherwise I can't be seen or
Right.
heard or do anything. I kind of need that one. There's a reason they're like, you get this one, no choice.
right, yeah, manifest. Yeah, it's the one that lets you actually become tangible.
Up here.
and- yeah.
Do things.
Mhm.
Okay,
Cool.
cool.
Yeah,
I'll
and
just fill
so
this in quick. Manifest.
I can have a Glock. That's crazy.
yeah, every
Yeah, I
character
was
starts
gonna
out
give
with.
my
I know.
guy.
uh,
I'm like a wizard with a Glock, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, come on,
I have a
gun
question
wizard
for
has
various
to-
and
you.
such, yeah.
Tux.
Hmm?
Last session, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if I missed it. Did I mark anything with Power Faction? Because I talked to what's his
see.
bucket? I didn't regain a debt. Like I didn't pay off a debt, but I got one from them.
Yeah. Let's see.
Just wondering. Because I don't remember how exactly the whole marking of
Yeah,
factions
it's when you
is.
make
I think it's like
yeah, when you make a faction move, trigger an intimacy move, cash in a debt, or honor a debt. So
I didn't cash in the debt yet, so no, I haven't yet.
Yeah.
I just have the debt.
Mhm.
I haven't cashed
Yeah,
it
I
in
get it.
yet.
Right.
So
Really
I just wanted to check that.
Yep.
Because I know I did the one with mortality because I
Mhm.
talked to
Right.
what's her face.
Yeah.
Just real quick, because I
Mhm.
haven't played. How often? How important is the hit the streets move? Just because I'm trying to decide what
it's-
moves I want to take.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So I guess I'll explain that as well. All the basic moves, you just get them.
I know, but I can take stuff to improve them. I got to pick what I want to take, and I was
Yeah,
like, what?
what-
does
Oh,
the
okay,
hit the
gotcha.
streets
Yeah,
move
yeah,
do?
yeah. So the hit the streets move, I guess it kind of depends on what you're thinking your character's going to be doing a lot. So, yeah, hit the streets is when you hit the streets to get what you need. Name who you're going to, and roll with their faction. And so, whenever you try to find something or try to find somebody, like whenever you're trying to find something, that's the move you'll use if you don't quite know where it is yet, but you know somebody that has it or might know
So
where
you're trying
it
to,
is.
like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you're trying to get information, or you needed to get a gun and you're going to go to them, or you need this like set of stuff, you're going to go to them, and you go to specific factions. It's your like, I don't have this, so
Right.
I'm going to go to the people that are like in the underbelly of society or
Mhm.
whatever and try to find it.
Are
Sounds
wizards
good.
Are wizards all under mortality, or are they under night?
They're under
We're
power.
They're under power.
Or power
Wow.
faction is where
You
they
start
start.
off with a -1 with power.
No,
That's
you
one.
don't.
That's a 1.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah,
I
you
was
start
looking
-1
wrong.
with night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it. I was gonna say, yeah,
The night-
with your
the night
faction,
faction.
you should be at 1.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put that at 2 then.
Oh, good. You're the opposite of me.
Well, I mean, I feel like my character's all about trying to like steal from people of like magical type, so it just
Reroll
makes sense that I would know
nice.
where they are.
Sure.
Yeah,
Wait, I didn't need to
Got
roll
rid
for
of
manifest. I just concentrate. All right, cool.
yeah. You concentrate and you pick one of the options, and then if you want to pick more
Yeah, that's
or
cool.
yeah, it's actually a really interesting move because if you want to pick, you have to pick 2, and if you want to pick more or less, you mark corruption.
Yeah, you gotta. I like that you can actually pick less, where it's like I just want to be this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, some things are a drawback, right? Being
Yeah.
able to be heard might not be the thing you want.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
Well, yeah,
being able to be
if-
seen might not be what you need.
Mm-hmm.
there.
Or if you only want to touch
Exactly.
things,
If you want
yeah.
to, if you want to touch things, and then like that would be the perfect stealth person, but it's like you have to actually spend to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To-
And
If
then,
I wanted to walk into your house and steal something, I could, with marking corruption, just be able to move things and literally not be able to be heard, even if
Right,
I
yeah, exactly.
did try to. and just move things and do stuff.
Yeah, that's the really cool
So
thing about
it's-
this game is when you the corruption is usually for the different playbooks have different ways of obtaining it, and it's it's usually very tempting, and which is kind of the whole point of it. It's you can start marking corruption like, oh, a couple here and there isn't so bad, but then if you keep doing it, eventually
Especially if the corruption moves are all tied to gaining more corruption. Pretty much
exactly.
Most of the time.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, and then once you start down it, unless you like break completely, you're just gonna keep going.
It's like a drug addict. You just
Yeah, exactly.
Either go hard or you. Wait, so
Yeah,
how do you get rid of corruption?
I don't think
There is an
can you?
advancement to take to get rid of a corruption move or a corruption
Oh.
advancement, and so if you take that, you can get rid of some corruption. But basically,
Okay.
besides that, you just kind of have it. It's always there, and so if you want to not get any more corruption, you kind of have to force yourself not to do it.
Wow,
Yeah.
you have to be really careful then.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah,
even
you
like
gotta be
doing rolls
super
of like
careful.
wanting to channel, you can get a corruption just like accidentally rolling low.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
I think
I mean,
two of my
if
moves
you
give you
channel,
corruption for
you
fail.
can you get to choose what that is. So
Yeah.
like, you can just be like, I'm avoiding the corruption, so
Yeah, I
I'll
take
suffer
harm.
some harm,
Yeah.
or I have -1 on my rolls
Yeah.
until I take a rest.
Could you explain that to me as well? The harm, because it says like you have like 1 and then
Yeah,
like,
sure,
really
yeah,
bad
totally.
and then grievous.
So I'll scroll on a
jump
sheet
around.
so I can kind of show it on screen as well.
Sorry that I'm jumping around, guys.
No,
Just-
totally. Yeah, actually, while you guys, this part's kind of, especially while you're just kind of picking
Yeah.
things and while you're not,
Filling in
you're
stuff.
forming ideas right now. It's totally a good time to talk about stuff like this. So harm works basically. You have the three sections of feint, grievous, and critical. They're pretty self-explanatory. Feint is just like little things here and there, like you're hurting but not totally bad. It'll go away over time. Grievous is like a bigger injury, like a broken arm or something like that. And then critical is like you're literally in critical condition. And so you have 5 harm. And once you take more than 5 harm, you're dead.
I have a question about that. Can I
Yeah.
ever actually be dead? Because even in the thing it says that I return unless I have the link spectre thing.
Yeah, the specter's different. Because you're a
1,
ghost.
0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like if I get completely destroyed, I come back in a few days. But if I have that linked thing where it's like I'm linked to an object, I can be killed if that thing gets destroyed.
Right, yep.
But I tell you what, that link thing is it's so tempting because it's like if someone messes with your link thing, you become incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
While you try to get it back. It's like you turn into Satan to try and get it back.
Oh
Basically.
my god.
Yeah, I think that as the specter is, if you take that link move, then you're like, you can't die unless someone does it. Otherwise, you can.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Something keeps you from passing on a link when in the presence of your link advanced let it out. When your link is in danger, you have access to all of your corruption moves until you see it safely.
yeah.
If your link
So
is
it's
ever
pretty cool,
destroyed,
like,
so
it's-
are you.
Yeah.
It's a thing that like it's really tempting because like
All of
you
the
don't want to
corruption
die,
moves
right?
be
You can't die,
powerful.
so you can just be like, well, yeah, your corruption moves are powerful. You can be super like risky because you can't die because of that. Like your spirit can't be destroyed.
So right now, I'm not taking it, so I can die, but I'll always come back eventually.
Yeah.
I can't die.
Yeah. You can also choose, like, when you die, I believe it's supposed to be like either your spirit comes back or you move on. Because it even says like,
Yeah,
when your spirit, let's see, what
Yeah,
does it
there's
say?
a move on thing.
Yeah. When your
There's a
spirit
move
passes
on.
on permanently, or you retire your character. Yeah, you can. So you still potentially can, but
Yeah, it's
yeah.
You're pretty much designed not to die, but yeah, but again, being put out for a few days, you can have so much stuff change around you that you're
Yeah.
screwed. It's not something you want to happen.
Right.
It's just a different approach to like, am I in danger or not? And then it's like I can't be like interacted with, so it's like I can't get hurt in the scene, but I also can't do stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that's that, and that. Don't have any improvements.
I love how sword is a practical weapon.
Very
Just see
practical.
walking around, it's like it's practical.
I would really like to see someone cast spells to a sword, like have a sword wand.
Mm-hmm.
So you do like fancy, do like fancy swishes for like
Yeah. Swish
wand
and
movement. Yeah, exactly. Swish
It's
and
very
flick, but then like
Swish and
lightning
flick is
flies
very
out.
different with a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous.
Everyone move back. I'm going to swish and flick.
Not switching flag.
They definitely need a bigger room in Charms class if you
Yeah.
had swords as your wand. Wouldn't be able
What
to sit
else
so
we
close
need?
to each other.
I like, but when it says gear, it's like all spectral gear, right? So it doesn't really help me out.
Yeah.
It's just like what you had on you when you died. It's just
Yep.
for like
Yeah, it's very
Whatever
much
the fuck.
just
Gear.
you're a ghost. You don't have like a bunch of stuff you can start using, and you're just kind of
if you manifest into the world, do your objects manifest with you or not?
yeah, like everything that's with you is like spectral as well. So if you like have something on you that was like
Because
part
I
of
was
your
going to give him a
spectral
gun
stuff,
because
like,
he would carry one. So does
Yeah.
that mean when I appear, I will have a gun that would actually work?
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay,
Going
interesting.
Pew pew.
Because he was going to have like, I don't know, wallet, keys that don't go to anything,
Mhm.
a handgun, and cigarettes, and like a matchbook that never runs out because it's spectral, and neither do cigarettes. Just like what a gangster would have on him,
Yeah,
in
sure.
his tucked away in his coat. Like, I wasn't being. I'm like, he has a rocket launcher.
Right. No, it would totally make sense for you to have a gun, and then if you like, I would say if you manifest and choose the you can touch and be touched by the physical world, I would say your gun would work.
Okay, interesting. I actually really like that because it's like he can walk around threateningly with the gun without being able to use it,
Mhm.
but then he can like appear and actually use it if he had to, sort of thing.
Mhm.
It'd be cool. Where's the gear on this list? Where is it?
The gear is
Oh, wait, I gotta do a member of. What am I a member of? Forget.
you're a member of
Think
Knight.
of- Yeah, that's right.
Done something big and it's nearly ready. They owe you a debt.
Yep, that's
So-
yeah, the debts and stuff we'll cover when we actually talk about everything. Yep. And so are you ready to do the kind of the intro stuff and talk about your debts? EQ?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I will
I'm not
pull it.
exactly sure how I'm gonna do this, but just work with me here, Tux.
Sure, no problem at all.
So, my debts essentially says someone relies on you for training or knowledge. They owe you 2 debts.
Sure. Let's go through the intro questions first, and then we can.
Oh,
we
okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah. I just want establish your character and who they are, and then we can kind of talk about who owes you and who you owe. So,
Okay.
obviously, pretty basically, the first question is just who are you?
I am Wraith Afar.
Cool.
Oh, this is awesome.
And then, yeah, it's like you can the look you took, kind of just what your character's all about. Yeah.
I'm male and I'm black. I kind of have the dreads that are like it's really well kept and all kind of pulled back.
Mhm.
Also, you have
So-
the styled Rasta dreads, not the
Yeah,
crazy
okay, cool.
Rasta dreads.
Yeah, I'm very styled and I have like very nice clothes. I imagine it's sort of something close to. It's not really a suit. It's more close to like a vest, with like slacks. He definitely appears to be someone who has money essentially.
Okay. Yeah.
He's very well kept,
Mm-hmm.
clean and well kept, like meticulously well kept.
Cool.
It's almost borderlining OCD. Like you're just like it's almost too much.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very
He's
detached.
clean.
Yeah.
Too clean.
But he's very detached. Like he kind of always keeps himself isolated.
Mm-hmm.
And even when talking with people, he never really tries to bond. Essentially, it's more and people really don't know why, but I figure it's more of like a fear with his family being cursed. He doesn't really want to try to attach himself to people because he's not exactly sure how that will affect his friends.
Sure. Cool.
And I have no clue what he's a member of.
All right. Then, how long have you been in the city?
I've only been in the city very recently, maybe 6 months.
Okay.
I actually been training in Africa. we actually do like a spirit journey where you go back home and you do a large majority of your training there to prepare yourself to essentially the whole family does this whole thing where all the young go to become trained because they don't know who will inherit the curse next. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, let's talk about that actually. Just kind of a little more to kind of so talk about the curse or so that kind of that's been put on the family.
So my idea, anyone can add into it, but kind of the idea I was thinking was essentially he's one of those people that at night, essentially, every once in a while, this entity or being will take over and will force him to steal, going into like anyone who has an item of power or a knowledge or a spell book.
I have a ghost gun.
Yeah, and so no one really knows where all of these items of power go, because essentially when he's in control, it's almost like you're another person completely. He has his own agenda, his own, and I never really thought of a name or an actual like the full idea of this presence. I'm still kind of working on it.
Yeah, sure.
I just thought like this dual personality essentially will kick in sometimes.
Okay, yeah. Does Wraith know about it, or does he not?
No,
not know at all?
It's not. No one knows that he's the next to inherit the curse yet.
Okay.
So essentially, it hasn't happened to him yet. He doesn't know yet.
Okay.
But that's his whole detachment because he's very fearful. He doesn't know if he's gonna get it. No one's inherited it yet.
Sure, yeah.
But I have him in the story as he's going to be the next. Whatever we can think of a name for it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once it comes up and kind of starts actually occurring and happening, we can kind of specify a little more and like what it means for him when it happens and everything. Cool. What keeps you up at night?
I think what keeps him up at night is the burden. It's the burden of his family is like very rich. They have a lot of influence, especially in the Wizarding Society as well. So his name is attached to theirs, and that's kind of it's almost too much because he's still really young. He's like 17, 18. He's just a teenager. So he's really naive, and a large majority of it is almost too much, you know. Sure. He has a lot of responsibility. He's expected to be a certain way, to gain a certain amount of power, act a certain, you know, and sometimes that keeps him up at night because it's just like consuming of his life. It's not his life. It's his life is his family's now.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
What have you sacrificed for your power?
I have sacrificed friends and love.
I did the same thing as my wizard. Wizards aren't people that like people. We're sheltered.
Well, it's like that's his whole thing is like he loves people. He would love to be just like people, but he can't, and he realizes he can't. And it's like
just imagining like a sad puppy. Look, I'm not people.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, that interrupts.
That's perfect. Yeah, he's very. I mean, he's a teenager. He's very emotional and unsure. He's chemically imbalanced. He doesn't really, you know. I don't know what I want in life.
Awesome.
Just my hair is like awesome. Just tying your. You're dressed really darkly. You have like. You just go like full. You go full emo on it. That'd be
I was imagining he was like organizing his braids, and he's like, "I may never find my place, but at least I look awesome."
Yes. Yes.
At least I look great.
At least I'm beautiful.
What do you desperately need?
I don't know. What do I desperately need? I desperately need I guess guidance. Like a mentor, someone I can confide in. That's what I desperately need. Someone I can confide in is what I desperately.
Have you come to San Francisco because you think that might be here, or were you kind of sent here?
My family's here. I was sent here.
Oh, okay.
This is where a large bulk of the main family is here.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So has your family lived here a long time?
Yes.
Okay,
my
I'm just wondering.
Okay.
So I guess
my
family is It's like generations.
Sure.
Of
So
shape.
with Bailey's character, who is also a wizard, we kind of established that there's like a, well, and then kind of with each faction, there's there's like the world that as normal people know it, and then there's like the supernatural underground of it, and part of the magic part of it, we kind of established that there's like a kind of like a council. And do you think your family would be a part of that at all?
Yeah.
Or are you guys kind of on your own thing?
Yeah, I'd say we're in the council.
Okay.
We might kind of be out on our own thing, but we will dabble in. Essentially, like if something goes wrong, then there's times where we would jump in and possibly help, kind of like coming in, like
Sure.
save the day, even though we might have been the thing that caused it. It's like
Right.
this badness happened, and then my family comes in and goes, no, we're here to help. What do you need? We're the heroes. Totally. No,
You
that
didn't
wasn't
see anything.
that wasn't that curse that we have in our family.
Right.
No, totally,
Awesome.
We're not the cursed ones you're looking for.
exactly.
So maybe like the eldest member of your family is on the council or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool, okay.
Like my father or something's on it.
Got it. Cool.
Sweet.
Actually, it would probably be my mother, if anything.
Oh,
'cause
okay. Awesome.
I assume the female would be, because I have no sisters and only brothers, and usually it's the female that inherits the curse.
Matriarchy, so yeah, female.
Cool.
Usually
All right, so your
dominant.
your mother's on the council. Okay. So did you grow up in San Francisco and then you went away and came back, or did you grow up somewhere else and then came here?
I spent maybe before I really knew my childhood, like just starting out infancy, before you really start learning anything, I was in San Francisco. But the second I was able to start learning, they sent me away.
Okay.
It's like I spent a large majority of my life somewhere else, and now I'm somewhere else again. So
Got
it's
it,
like
okay.
I've always kind of been on the move, because that's that whole thing. Like I actually went through a journey throughout all of Africa, like refinding roots.
Yeah, totally.
Just learning back to the basics.
Sure. Cool.
So that's why I never really had friends either. I was always moving and too detached and afraid. He's such a sad character. Wow.
that's
I'm almost
that's
Batman.
yeah.
Like
We've
Eeyore,
seen that.
man.
And so now we come to your deaths now. So yeah, like generally as a person you're kind of like closed off and just whatever, but there are some people that you kind of let in and that who owe you. So someone is helping you keep your demons at bay. You owe them a debt.
Someone's keeping one. So I owe someone.
Yep. Yeah, so you owe someone a debt. And this can be an NPC or it can be one of the other characters, one of the other player characters.
And what do we have for the player characters?
So we have Bailey Rook, who is Mumble's character. And then we have Riga, do you have a name for your character?
Yeah, it's Carlisle Crow.
Oh, yeah, Carlisle Crow. So we have Carlisle Crow, the Spectre. We have Bailey Rook, the Wizard. There were some other player characters, but since they're not here...
I totally talk to a ghost. That would make sense. Like, I can't talk to people, so I talk to ghosts.
Cool.
And maybe I, like, came across... Riga, what's your
Better
character's
not
name
talk
again?
down to him. Carlisle.
Yeah. Yeah, you're helping me keep my demons at bay. I don't see me talking down to you.
Better not.
Yeah, I think I might be kind of just a bit annoying for you at times, where I'm just like always, because essentially I'm using like a crutch, I would assume, where I'm just like, you're my only real friend, you're the only person I can talk to.
Cool.
Go away,
Yeah,
kid.
just
Go
hang out
away.
here for a while.
I just
Don't
love the
worry
idea
about
that like
building
his
just burn down.
his family bought this like nightclub that you used to own.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
like,
totally the nightclub. He totally met me
I'm
in the
like
nightclub.
I'm
yeah.
like bartending at it. Yeah, I'm like bartending at the nightclub.
You're bartending at the nightclub, and then like
Yeah.
you're looking at the open floor. There's no one there, and then there's just a guy walking halfway across the floor. Like he shouldn't have got to that point. Like you're like, the room's empty. Look down, look up. There's a guy in the middle of the room mid walk. It's like,
Yeah.
how
I
the
love that
fuck?
that's the idea, like that you're and since you're so like as a specter like tied to this place, this sense of like was where I was. You have like these things that are kind of keeping you in the world. You can't get away from this freaking kid that keeps talking to you. It's like,
It's like a
fucking A.
default spot.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's like a default spot. If I ever like quickly escape, it's where my like where I default to, or if I like get killed and come back, it's where I default to.
It's just like this old mobster that's just like super pissed that this like angsty teen is just like keeps talking to him. You're like, God damn it, dude! Like, just
I feel like one time, like there was one time where he said the wrong thing and he thinks I'm a ghost, and then like the glass next to him explodes as I'm actually manifested and shot the glass from across the room. Just like shut the fuck up.
God,
Like I'm like sitting in a booth and you're like, yeah, it's real funny, yeah, ghost, ha ha ha, and then it's like, poof, when I'm just holding a gun, like just stop.
I need my space.
No
Jeez.
more words, just silence.
Awesome.
Yeah. Shh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
Someone is your go-to when you get into trouble. You owe them 2 debts.
Someone is my go-to. I assume it would probably be someone in my family.
Okay.
So maybe my mother.
Sure.
Mom.
Yeah, be a mother's boy.
Cool. People trying to kill me again.
Do you want to kind of expand on like maybe talk about your mother for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
I'm now your psychiatrist.
Tell me about your mother.
Tell me about your mother.
She was mean to me.
Tell me about your mother.
I think okay, so let's do this live. My mother.
And just to let you know, it's very open for you guys to come up with names and stuff for characters that are connected to you. If you need a name, I have like a giant list of names that the game gives me. So if you're ever like, Adam, give me a name, I can just and I'll have
Adam,
a name for
give
you.
me a name.
Yeah, but if you want to have a name or whatever, please do.
No,
I just want to make sure like it's very give and take on names and kind of personalities and such. So like. You can come up with a name. I can come up with a name. It's very open for either of us.
I don't know, Adam. How is my mother?
All right, so
give me a name, Adam.
Sure. I like Morgan for your mother.
Morgan. All right. I guess my mother. I don't even know. Like I never really thought about his mother.
Mm-hmm.
I assume maybe she's an old woman.
Older. Yeah.
40. That may 40s, close to 50s. Kind of.
I'm just thinking of the woman in
a bit wrinkly.
the voodoo woman in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Yeah, I think her hair's braided as well, except it's not the back. It kind of hangs. Are you wanting kind of like her personality, or you want me just to describe?
Yeah, I guess just a little like it. Like, is she like usually pretty supportive of you? Is she like fairly distant? Is she? Yeah. Well, she's on the council too, so.
I assume she's supportive of me because I'm kind of like, I'm her only child.
Okay.
So I mean, there's a possibility that it could be one of my cousins or someone else could inherit the curse, but I think she kind of has this feeling that she knows I might be the next.
Mm-hmm. Did she have it before you, or is it like a passed on death?
It's past. It's someone. The previous person died.
Okay, got it.
And so no one currently has the curse, but we know it's like it's gonna pop up at some point. Be our generation or the next, it'll be here eventually.
Yeah.
So I think she kind of has this sixth sense about it, and that's kind of one of her things where she's very like compassionate and caring because I want to say it was her father was the one that previously had the curse, and so she saw the destructive lifestyle that he had, and it kind of like psychologically affected her, and so now she realizes the trauma that I could be going through.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So she is
so
like pretty supportive, pretty open to you. And,
yeah. Maybe she coddled me a little too much, and that adds to my detachment.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm kind of hooked onto holding onto her skirt and saying, "Mommy, what do we do now?" I haven't really become my own individual yet.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I like that.
Yeah. Girl Scout said I'd be asleep and lick the fishes. What does that mean?
The sheet allows for debts for that other people owe you, but if you want to keep track of debts that you owe to other people, you can put that in the notes section right below, as well. And then I might change it to so you can pick that both in the debt section. I probably will, but it was when I was making it, I didn't quite think of that. But yeah, both of these first two are ones that you owe to other people. Mm-hmm. So and yeah, just because the debt says blank owes me blank, if you want to put it in the notes section, you can. Just to say like mother -2 debts owed or whatever. Like if you want, however you want to keep track of it to just so you can mark that you owe people. If you want to,
Yeah, and-
also.
Yeah. I think so. I owe 2 debts to my mother for my mother.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yep.
Yeah, and so can it be like I'm not gonna try and influence you in the story, but I would assume
Please do.
I assume these debts would be like her way of she realizes maybe she realized she's coddled me too much, and that I'm not really independent, and this is her way of like cashing these debts in, or a way of like improving me mentally and preparing me.
Mhm.
Like these are all things where she's like, you have to go do this to prepare yourself. You have to go,
Right. Yeah. Totally.
go talk to the other kids. I understand.
Oh,
You
that's
have to go go play nice.
Mm-hmm.
You have to become a man eventually.
Yeah. It's almost like it's like the parent that spoiled the child, and now it's like now it's like years later they're an adult, and it's like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Well,
Shit, I coddled too much.
Shit. Now what do I do?
Yeah. And you know how like I'm looking for a guide, but I really don't see it as my mother's kind of my guide right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
it's
very
guide.
it's like
Yeah.
yeah, like it's like she's kind of your guy, but like you want someone that's almost like that, like knows what you're going through, or like what that you can actually like, because like you're like parents like and it's kind of always that like, yeah, parents are always there for you. They always know
It's
what
like
to do,
my friend, but it's still my parents.
right, exactly. Like they're still your parents, so it's like there's always going to be that there. Like it's almost like for a guide, or like for a mentor, you almost want somebody that's not that doesn't have the connection, that just like is separate from you. But yeah, totally awesome. And so there's one more what we have. Let me pick that up for. You are helping someone keep a dangerous secret. They owe you a debt.
Okay. So, I'm helping someone keep a dangerous secret.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, anyone wanna come in on this one and help me out?
Does anyone want to owe him a debt?
Does anyone owe me a debt? I mean, I'm literally gonna.
I'm trying to think if I have a dangerous secret. It's not really the sort of thing that.
Yeah.
he has
All right, Tux, come up with a name for someone in the Wild faction.
Totally. Yeah. Awesome. So
Let's pick the faction who will never let it go.
I have no clue the difference between like I think mortality's human, night is like what, werewolves?
yeah.
Werewolves.
So yeah, mortality
Ghosts.
is like humans.
Ghosts.
Mortality is like the faction that of people that don't know anything about this supernatural underground. Wild is like everyone else. I guess Wild is kind of the last one, because Wild is like everyone else that doesn't fit in anything else. Night is kind of like street level of like people, like gangs, kind of like individuals of people that go around doing stuff. So that's like werewolves and vampires, and then ghosts. And then people can also like flow in between each one's, like, because you guys can change your faction at certain times as well. So it's not like all vampires are always night, all wizards are always power. Like it's just kind of a general thing. Power is like upper more. It's like definitely more of like the macro level of things, like the really big players looking down on the city. So so like power has wizard. Power has, who else has power?
Oracles.
I forget now.
Oracle.
Yeah, Oracle.
Isn't
Yeah, very
the Wild's like
very
Fae and stuff, right?
Fae. Fae are wild because they're like Wild is Wild
he's
is
like-
everyone else. Fae are like
Yeah.
Fae are like very
Fae have like
very
it's
alien,
written in
very
Fae's
like
description.
no like no one's really quite
They
sure.
love deaths.
Maybe that makes sense because they're so detached, like I am. Like that like I totally clicked with the Fae
Yeah,
at one
we actually haven't done much with
Also-
Fae yet, so yeah, I'm totally open for having some sort of Fae
I
creature.
will point out that
So,
Fae are
um,
described as like debts are everything to them.
Oh yeah.
That's
So-
their
so- okay,
currency. So you
so
pick the
I
one
did-
people
so-
who will not let it go.
So I did something serious to get a debt from them.
Yeah, like
That's
them a Fae owing you a favor is actually pretty big.
Okay.
So the context of it is you're helping someone keep a dangerous secret. So let's say
Can it be like a satyr or someone cool, like some like half Fae creature that would be awesome?
okay. So her name is Ginger.
Ginger. So I kept Ginger's secret.
Yeah. So
A Fae in the wild.
You know a dangerous secret about a Fae. Holy shit.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Time
I
to
have
manipulate
and I
some
have
Fae.
one debt on them.
Yeah, they owe you one debt.
Shit.
Yeah, and then again on the basic move sheet, that kind of goes into what you can do with the debt.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Yeah.
I wish that I knew that, because it's like, I'd be friends with you. You have a powerful thing to expend at some
Doggy.
point.
We are friends.
Dog cam.
Oh, Doggy.
I think he considers. I mean, I think.
Right,
Raytheon
exactly.
considers you a friend.
It's an imaginary friend,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, we're totally friends.
Oh my god, I have an imaginary friend and like a fae. Like any of my friends I talk to my mom about, she'd be like, "Yeah, sure, totally you do." Like, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Can you describe Ginger for me?
Yeah, sure. So I think obviously they had, like there's like the Fae form and then the human form. I think you've only seen her in her human form. Like there's like probably like Fae-esque features and like you've seen her do things, so you know she's not just a normal human. But like I don't think you've actually seen her like full on Fae thing.
Full form.
I think at least with her like or her like group or her family or whatever, they're very much about hiding themselves, and I think she's more open about it, and that's why you haven't seen her full form, but you've seen her like because they have like magics and like things that they can do, and so you've seen her do stuff. And I think she like revealed herself accidentally to somebody, and you're kind of helping her keep it on the down low.
I have memory wipe, so maybe I
Yeah.
I
Okay. Cool.
She used her power, and I memory wiped the person for them, and I was like, I got you, baby.
Cool. Okay. Awesome.
You said it exactly like that.
No, I don't see my. Yeah, he was trying to be cool and just was like, oh God, don't ever say that again. Sorry.
It's something that keeps you up months later. Like you're trying to go to sleep and like,
Yeah.
shit, why did I say it like that?
I didn't
That's
say
what's actually
baby,
keeping
I
him
was
up at night.
Yeah, what keeps you up at night?
Awesome.
Sounding like a tool is what keeps me up.
Yeah,
at
it sounded like a tool. Oh god, I'm like a suave, sophisticated type. I used to like socialize at parties, so if I heard you say that, it'd be like spectral facepalm. Like,
Yeah. Maybe that's what happens. That's one of the things where I try to do the lingo of the cool kids, and it's just like you're just like, no, just stop, just please, no more.
no,
Awesome.
cool.
I like this dynamic already.
Yeah. Cool.
Did I
just like
hate
the
you?
idea
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you're picking up what is cool from like a 30s mobster, and so like
Yeah, see, you'll never take
and
me
so like
alive,
you're walking
see?
around and everybody else you're like, oh man, I'm gonna use that cool phrase that he used, and then everybody else is just like,
are you
dude, calm it
talking
down, you
about?
old fogey. Like holy shit.
But I love the idea that like for some reason because I lived it, I make it work. So when I try it, it just works. But it
No,
doesn't
yeah,
work
exactly.
for him.
Yeah,
It's like fedoras.
I-
character. And
It's like fedoras or
It's for
mustaches
you.
or like just like little things like it can look really bad on everyone except you, and it's like holy crap, that
Yeah.
guy's really cool.
But I also have the confidence and air of like this always worked for me, so it like gives it bolsters like the impression.
Mm-hmm.
It's great
Awesome.
because
You know.
the looks I have for him don't give like the personality.
Totally.
It doesn't match at all. Like he's very like well dressed, nice.
Right, exactly.
Looking,
You look like
very
you look cool.
Yeah. And then the words come out of my mouth, and then they're like, just it's all wasted.
That's a really cool dynamic. Okay, cool. So we're at an hour, and I think we're pretty much good. We're good with setting up Wraith of Far. So I think we're gonna take a short break, and then when we come back, we'll go into Carlisle Crow and what he's all about.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, we'll come back and do that, and then we'll be ready to do some actual stuff. So thanks again for everybody watching.
Cool.
If you aren't already, if you click the little follow button, that would be super cool of you. And we will be back after about 6 minutes or so. Thanks again.